Just really quick, this is like this is super late in the night, but I just wanted to show really quick a breakdown of um, the Venthyr legendary for Shaman for Chain Harvest. So the Leggo is this right here. So what it does is when you cast Chain Harvest, it's going to give 5 friendly targets a Riptide and 5 enemy targets a Flame Shock, which um, might sound bad to some of you, but the reason that we're talking about this is because of this ability right here, Fire Nova. So Fire Nova is like pretty bad on the surface. The numbers here, just sort of forget the numbers for now because this is my PTR character and he has literally no gear. I'm item level 176, but as you can see, Fire Nova does about 700 fire damage on up to 6 enemy targets within 8 yards of your Flame Shock. So if you have one Flame Shock and there was 5 guys standing there with one Flame Shock, they would all get hit for 700 damage. 7 times 5, that's 3,500 damage. Okay? That's actually, if you kind of think about it that way in like a pure AoE point of view, it's actually pretty good. Now, if you take into account Chain Harvest, this legendary, it's going to put 5 Flame Shocks in. So if there's 5 targets, you press Chain Harvest. Now there's 5 Flame Shocks. You immediately press Fire Nova. It's going to do 700 damage 5 times. So that's 3,500 damage to each target. So 3,500 times 5, which is 7, 14, 21, what is it? It's like 18 grand or something? I don't know. 3 times 5 is 15. It's like 18 or 19,000 damage, which is pretty good. It's almost 20. I think it's almost 20k. Okay, so you press Chain Harvest, 5 Flame Shocks go out. You press Fire Nova. One Fire Nova press does 20k damage. If there's 5 targets there, we're going with the like ideal situation, right? What's the next sort of step of this? What's really amazing about this is that your Flame Shock lasts 18 seconds, and Fire Nova is a 13-second cooldown. This is with bad haste. So you can actually get 2 of these off. You can press Chain Harvest and press Fire Nova immediately and do 20k, and then your Fire Nova will come all the way back off cooldown before those Flame Shocks drop off, and you can press it again for another 20k. I mean, assuming your mobs last that long. In like lower Mythic Plus and stuff, the mobs just aren't going to last that long. So it might be less relevant. However, I think there's actually something here with AoE, and I'm going to show you in the details um, of the guys that I just did the dummies. So Fire Nova did 45,000 damage, guys. Look how many times I cast it. I cast it twice, and it hit 50 times because each dummy that I hit all 5 dummies 5 times. It's 25 times. One cast of Fire Nova hit 25 separate times. And a bunch of those crit. 10 of them crit. Out of 50, I got 10 crits with like really bad gear. So here's what happened. I pressed Chain Harvest. All the Flame Shocks went out. Okay. You can see the Flame Shocks. Flame Shock damage is even pretty high. I pressed Chain Harvest. I got 5 Flame Shocks. I pressed Fire Nova. It did 20k damage. Then I waited for 13 seconds and then pressed Fire Nova again. Got 20k damage again. We're going to do it again here. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So we need to wait. I'm going to wait until we get Chain Harvest at 5 Maelstrom. So I'm just going to start with dogs. We're going to get a Flame Shock up, do a little bit of damage. Storm Strike. Okay, we got it. We're going to press Chain Harvest. Immediately press Fire Totem. Keep going. Sorry, not Fire Totem. Fire Nova. Keep going. We're waiting for... I'm going to keep applying Flame Shocks. We're waiting for Fire Nova to come back. Okay, it's coming back. Press it again. Boom. Okay, we're going to run away. Just want to check that we were at 7k DPS there, by the way. Fire Nova, again, did 40k damage. And the Flame Shocks did 17. They're going to almost do about 20k by the time this is done counting. Yeah. So here's what's kind of neat about it. Obviously, within the chain harvest window, chain harvest is a 1.5 minute cooldown, so it's a minute and 30 seconds. Obviously, when you have this up and you're ready to go with chain harvest, it's bananas. Like this damage is really actually quite strong. It's not even, I have literally no gear on this guy, so it's a bad example. But 41k, pressing it twice, like that's pretty good. That's within the chain harvest window. If you're not in the chain harvest window, let's show this again. Current segment. We're gonna start get a flame shock up. I'm gonna show you with 2 flame shocks. If you have 5 targets and you have 2 flame shocks up, you can press your fire nova. Let's keep going here. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Do a little bit more, a little more damage. We're gonna refresh this flame shock here. We have 3 targets now for our fire nova. Here it comes again. Boom, fire nova. Okay, I'm gonna run away. Just with 2 to 3 targets, we actually did 20k damage there, pressing it a couple of different times. That's outside of the chain harvest window. If we run back in, press chain harvest, fire nova, I mean, you get that huge burst again, guys, right? You can see I'm going to keep going here just to show you. Fire nova's at 18k. Give it a second, it's almost back. Here it goes, press it again, goes up to 37k. But like, even if you're not in the chain harvest window where you can press chain harvest, fire nova, wait 13 seconds, fire nova again. That's obviously fantastic damage on its own. But even if you're just doing a normal pull, there's still like decent damage here with fire nova because it has such a low cooldown and because it doesn't have like fall off damage. Like it just does 700 damage here on my tooltip to each person that you can get within its radius. So I think there's really good opportunities for this ability actually. I think what I'm mostly responding to is actually Tiqqle, who's a shaman player. Um, he's on twitch.tv/tickle this. He's a wonderful shaman player. He put up a YouTube video talking about how he wished Fire Nova was better, and I agree with him on the whole. Fire Nova is like in a bad place. It should have more interaction with the shaman kit. Tickle talked about like spreading flame shocks and stuff. I think those are all great ideas. But if you're looking for something different, if you're just looking for something like really fun that's more like fire based, um, in the shaman kit, because right now you're kind of forced into just going like elemental assault with forceful winds, and then you're just gonna run the doom winds, right? You're gonna run doom winds. I mean that's what everybody's doing, but this is fun, guys. This is actually really cool, and I just wanted to show that on an AOE pack in particular that this thing does a lot of damage. That Fire Nova actually hits pretty hard. And over the course of a dungeon, if you're making sure that you're pressing this button every time it's off cooldown, if you're pressing Fire Nova, you're going to really have a great amount of AoE damage going out. On single target, you're absolutely going to suffer compared to something like Doom Winds. Like, it's not even close. But on AoE packs, my god, I think this is going to absolutely slap. So I just wanted to show that, guys. I just wanted to show you that this is not entirely a meme. It's something that you can pick up and play with. You're dropping, if you're swapping this out for like Doom, if you had Doom Winds and you're changing it for this, basically you're going to lose all that Wind Fury damage every minute. You drop a Wind Fury totem every minute and you get the huge Doom Wind procs. But you're gaining a more consistent damage pack to pack with the, if you have like 2 flame shocks out plus your fire novaing on cooldown, and then you have this big burst AoE. This is what it brings. Huge burst AoE damage. If you pull a pack of like 10 mobs, I mean, I can't even show it here, but we did 5 mobs here and it does almost 40k. If you have 10 mobs, it's going to do like 80k. Like if your tank can run around in a Mythic Plus and grab 10 mobs, group them up together, and then you just hit a chain harvest, and then maybe flame shock another one. So you have 6 flame shocks out. And then you press fire nova. I mean, really, there's some cool things you can do here. But anyway, I just wanted to showcase that and talk a little bit about how fire nova. That's really the only way in which you can utilize this spell. There's really no other way that there's ice strike, which can get you your flame shock back, but flame shock's already a 5-second cooldown, so this is like not helpful. But anyway, if you're looking to utilize Fire Nova, guys, try out the Venthyr, the Chain Harvest Legendary. It's actually pretty cool. I like it a lot. I run it on my healer when I'm doing Resto Shaman. It's pretty sick for that. So anyway, that is Zuko signing off.